I think for a lot of people who are new to the industry, it's great to get sort of the wisdom from people who have walked the road. And I really want to thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, I've heard you say, and you talk about this in your book as well, that we're in a revolution, and that you've mentioned it now, great benefits and great risks. And I'm assuming based on this title, it's got something to do with IoT as one of the facets. Is that right?
That's right. The title is the Hyppönen Law. I initially blurted it out during some keynote talk somewhere while talking about connected devices. And when everything becomes smart, everything gets connected. If it's smart, it's vulnerable. And it just stuck. And eventually it became the Hyppönen Law. So yeah, one of the risks, one of the biggest things shaping our risk scenarios right now is the fact that everything is becoming a computer. I've been a computer security guy all my life, and I used to think that my job is to secure computers. I'm a computer security guy, I secure computers. But now that everything is going online, it is becoming very clear that the job of us computer security guys is not to secure computers, it's to secure the whole society, because our society is run on computers. Everything runs on computers.
I mean, you use the example in the book, and I've heard you say this in other talks as well. I think you use your watch. Are you wearing your famous watch?
I am right here, my Omega.
Yes. How old is that watch?
This watch is now 21 years old because I got it as the 10th year anniversary gift from the company I work for. And I worked with this company for 31 years now. And it is a great example because this is completely mechanical. There's no code on this watch. There's no CPUs. There's no RAM. There's no connectivity. There's no storage. There's no nothing, which means it's unhackable. There's nothing you can do to hack this watch. And then when you look at modern watches with connectivity, they might be very secure. For example, Apple Watch is actually surprisingly secure. They've really put a lot of effort to make it hard to hack. But is it unhackable? Well, of course it's not. It is running code written by humans, and humans make mistakes. And when coders make mistakes, you end up with vulnerabilities, which means, at least in theory, everything is hackable. So when we turn traditional things into smart things by adding functionality and connectivity, we're also adding vulnerability.
I mean, I think there's two facets to that. You are both a cybersecurity expert, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're also a privacy expert. And there's like two parts to that, isn't there? You've got the security risks as well as the privacy risks of these IoT devices, right?
Yep. That's one of the reasons why this IoT problem is bigger than many people think. Right now, people, when they think about connected devices, they think about the smart things that they buy themselves into their homes where they know that these things are online. In fact, in many cases, the reason why they buy new devices is to get the added functionality. It's nice to have a smart TV so you can watch Netflix on your TV. It's nice to have a smart security camera so you can watch your cameras from your phone. Some people buy smart fridges so they don't have to remember what's in the fridge because there's a camera inside the fridge, which is handy, I give that. However, the future I see is not as much about smart devices being online. It's also about dumb devices being online. And here I mean the kind of devices that we, the consumers, don't need to be online. A kitchen mixer is a great example because, when you beat your eggs with a kitchen mixer, you'll never need an app for that mixer. You don't need it to be online. What I'm saying is that even devices like that will be online, but they're going online for a different reason. The reason why your fridge goes online is that you get benefits, you get an app. The reason why your kitchen mixer goes online is that the vendor who builds the mixer wants to know where you are so they can target their marketing better. They want to know what kind of problems do they have with their devices. Data is money. And these manufacturers of these devices would like to collect the data. And when it's cheap enough to do it, they will do it. And this isn't very obvious because it isn't happening yet. It's happening in the near future. And the reason why it's not happening yet is that it's still a little bit too expensive to add IoT chips into every single device. But in 5 years, it's not going to be too expensive. And then we will see everything you buy going online. Everything you will buy for your home will be online and you don't even know that they're online.
That's really scary. I mean, I think in the book you mentioned 5G or 6G maybe in the future is the way the devices will connect. So it won't even be on your Wi-Fi. They'll just simply connect and you won't even know it.
That's right. Many people respond to this theory of dumb devices being online, that they simply won't let them go online, which is not what they can. I mean, they can't prevent them going online. They're not going to use anything you own to go online. You don't need to give them access to your Wi-Fi. They will use Zigbee or Sigfox or 6G, which is coming up. There won't be any way for you to block them from going online except to wrap them in tinfoil. And if you wrap your kitchen mixer in tinfoil, you won't be able to mix anything with it. And then, of course, the next question that people ask me around this, okay, what are they going to do? Like if they hack my fridge or my kitchen mixer or whatever, what's the risk? And there, it is a little bit hard to turn it into concrete problems for the end users, because right now, most of these things get hacked not to break into your home or into your devices in your house, but to simply make these devices part of a botnet. And that botnet is then used to do something bad for someone else. I had a really eye-opening phone call about this maybe 4 years ago when the Mirai botnet originally was found, one of the largest and one of the first IoT botnets. We were working here in our lab and we were like fingerprinting the infected devices and scanning IPv4 address range to see where in the world the infected devices were. And this was pretty bad because the very first thing the Mirai botnet owners did with their botnet was a couple of large denial of service attacks, including one large attack against the root DNS servers of the internet, which then made the whole internet slower. We were eager to figure out where the infected devices were and if there's anything we could do to make them go offline or to clean them. So we were fingerprinting these devices and one of the IP ranges was very easily identifiable. I could actually see which company had the infected device, which looked like a heat pump, a Mitsubishi heat pump, which you would use in a home or in an office to cool down or heat up the room. So I Googled for the phone number of the office. It was a small law agency. I called them up and I told them, hi, I'm Mikko calling from WithSecure and we believe there's an infected heat pump in your office. And they were really helpful. They're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we have a brand new Mitsubishi heat pump. We got it last month. And I was asking them, okay, does it work? And they were testing it. Yeah, it works fine. Everything works. And then I told them that, according to our data, your heat pump is part of a global botnet, which is right now attacking the global root DNS servers, making the whole internet slower. And he responded to me saying, well, that's kind of cool.
Oh no.
And that's not really what you want to hear, is it? Like they thought it was just, really interesting and really cool, but they were not eager to do anything about it because the thing which they had in their office worked fine. It didn't do anything bad for them. So why should they do anything about it? Especially why should they spend any money to do anything about it? And that's the great question. Like who really should be fixing these problems? And I think the answer is quite clear. It should be the manufacturers of these devices, not really the users who should be responsible.